From the alley-oops at Keysar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way. From off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
If you want to know how I'm feeling, I hate Bourbon Street, Mardi Gras sucks, and pretty much I hate jambalaya. Jazz music is the worst. I hate you, New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't like any of it, anything they stand for. At least the Niners did put a little bit of a puncture in the Saints season.
No.
They might have some side pain.
It was just like we talked about. It was going to be a tough game, and then just like we also talked about, the refs definitely helped New Orleans.
Horse, you cracked me up, man.
Which means I'm right.
Oh, it's
funny.
He's funny.
And then I'm right.
It's true. Look at these two.
Welcome back.
I'm back, guys.
I've been asking where he was.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah,
Better than ever.
I am back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm definitely back. It was a little bit of a traumatizing experience.
He's wearing True Religion.
Sure, I'm in jeans, you know. I felt like I needed I needed a relaxed fit today, you know. Things have been a little stressful. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I got kidnapped. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, something about that.
We don't know the whole story. We saw Batman saved you.
Batman, he showed up.
And the whole
he
time...
He kind of left me stranded. I had to pay my own plane ticket.
The whole time, the Azorian one was behind the kidnapping.
I didn't even know that either because I didn't realize it was the Joker, you know? But I guess that was just the Azorian one as the Joker, so it makes sense now. In hindsight. You know,
the Azorian one got one over on us for sure.
He did. He almost prevented me from making my picks. Thank God Batman showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
In his pajamas.
In his pajamas, too. It was. You know what? I noticed afterwards, he did change, but it was like a split second. I literally looked. He pulled it off. I looked down, and was kind of like, what? And I kind of like looked away for a second, and when I looked back, workout stuff. Crazy.
Impressive.
It's nuts, man. He's a good guy. What a game, I guess.
This game was crazy because Horse, wow, that's bold, was that the 49ers were going to score on the very first drive, and they did exactly that. And it was fantastic because they took advantage of both of our key matchups. I'll let Horse talk to his, but mine was that the 49ers were going to get rhythm passes for Mullins. And when he had rhythm and his back foot hit and he was getting rid of the ball on those short to intermediate routes, man, were the 49ers looking good. They were taking advantage of opportunities that New Orleans was giving them. They had mismatches. Brandon Ayuk looked really good, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that they're looking this way. We have a shot to win. And then, yeah.
Yeah, mine was that they get back to what they can do in the run game, and at the start of the game, they were able to do that.
Yeah.
They were moving the ball, they were getting creative in the run game, which was opening up the pass game for Mullins. And the first two drives, they looked really good on offense. And then it didn't.
Yeah. Not even a little bit. I would talk about my key matchups here, but we all know that I didn't have any this week. But in terms of the game, the things that you guys have talked about, because I did watch some of the stuff back afterwards. I was impressed offensively how they looked in that first few drives. The run game still is looking like we got some issues. Got some big, fat, gigantic issues. And you both have spoken to it, and Ant, you've spoken to it a lot. It just doesn't look like Mullins knows how to check in and out of certain run calls and get us into good run plays. You had brought it up and mentioned it, and I remember watching it live and thinking, what in the world was that Brandon Ayuk sweep?
Yeah.
Oof, did not look good. That was about the only thing that looked bad from Brandon Ayuk all day, and that's not on Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, once the defense, I think, figures out that Mullins can't beat them, and especially that he can't beat them deep, that they're just making a concerted effort to stop the run, make the 49ers one-dimensional, and then they're starting to jump these intermediate routes, and that's why you started seeing them fake him out with fake blitzes, sinking, making interceptions, or being robber sitting in the middle of the field, sneaking by, making an interception. You got to see some of the Mullins just struggling to read coverage. And this happens to Jimmy sometimes, but not to this level. This was just, a bad performance from Mullins. I'll give Mullins this. He's a tough dude. He was getting cracked all game, and I think some of it was his own fault. To get beat, it's not see a blitz or somebody miss a block on a blitz. That happens. But for it to happen continuously from the same guy, at some point you got to see it. You got to change protections.
Yeah, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson blitzed a good 10-12 times off the edge, and he kept doing it. And for folks who don't understand how blocking schemes work, it is the quarterback's job to adjust to that blitz. The center cannot see Chauncey Gardner-Johnson 15 yards away from him over there. That is the quarterback's job to adjust that protection. Or adjust a route to throw right where he's coming from.
Yeah, there's got to be a hot route.
You can blame it on Shanahan, you can blame it on the line, but that is the quarterback's job. And he did not identify that blitz. I don't understand how he didn't. My mother was the one that was pointing out, this guy's blitzing all the time. Why don't they do anything? My mom never played football. She knew it.
Watch number fall.
It was real.
It was obvious.
Yeah.
It was so obvious they were bringing him, and Mullins did not make a change. I don't want to jump on Nick Mullins. He's not playing good enough, but I don't want to sit here and jump on one guy. But his lack of adjustment to the blitzes the other team is bringing have been awful. As soon as the other team starts blitzing, Mullins starts playing bad.
He doesn't just start playing bad. He starts playing levels of duty. You said it in the bring out the pooper scooper.
Yeah.
It was really bad. But you know what you don't ever have to bring out the pooper scooper for is this podcast, this show. It is top level grade A content. I can tell you that. From not having been here for a while, it was the only thing that was getting me through was thinking about getting back here to these guys. This is a wonderful podcast. It's so wonderful, in fact, that you should scroll down, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified for all of our content. So you can be a part of great shows like this. Because even when we struggle, even when this team is down and getting beat up, we're still having a good time over here.
That's right.
Sometimes.
Yeah. One thing I would like to point out from the 49ers is that you saw two great game plans. So anyone that's going to go at Kyle Shanahan or at Robert Saleh needs to kind of check themselves, because Kyle Shanahan came out with a depleted roster and still had two fantastic drives and really had other opportunities to score. And it just wasn't executed. This is a player problem, not a coaching problem. So I think that's one thing. Also, Robert Saleh's defense has been playing outstanding, fantastic game plans. Once again, they were confusing the quarterbacks and playing well. I mean, the second half was pretty much just garbage to watch because neither team could move the ball. But I thought both of them came out. The problem is once the other team adjusts, you're in trouble.
Let's also be honest. If they don't have their two big special teams guys, the Saints only scored 10 points on the Niners defense.
Yep.
I mean, their defense played a fantastic game.
Yeah, they really did.
Especially missing the guys they're missing. Playing against a top-flight offense like that.
Agreed.
I thought it would be more of a breeze for them to move the ball down the field.
But
the puns are back.
It's straight beast time.
It is.
Gentlemen, what do we got here? Horst, we'll start with you on this. What do you got for the straight beast offensive player of the game?
I'm going to go with your guy, Jordan Reed. This is the first game since the Jets game where he had 2 touchdowns early in the game.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately got injured on the second one. That he's really come back and made an impact. He had 5 catches for 62 yards, including that fantastic fingertip grab where he kept the ball off the ground with one hand. That was an amazing catch.
It was.
He really, outside of Ayuk, he was their only receiving threat. I thought he played a fantastic game.
He did.
Yeah, my straight beast is going to be Kendrick Bourne. I thought Kendrick Bourne played fantastic. You don't. Why are you laughing? I don't know what's so funny. I thought Kendrick Bourne.
I was in a basement. For most of the week. I know for a fact Kendrick Bourne played like dog duty.
He played fantastic in this game. He had great catches. He stole the ball from the defender.
That was a nice
He
play.
played very physical. He took big hits, but he converted key third downs. I think if you watch the game back, you're going to see Kendrick Bourne was a straight beast.
Hey, that play where he took the ball away from the defender was a fantastic play.
He also had the third down. He catches the ball in front of the sticks, makes a move, gets upfield, gets the first down. Huge in the game.
Does his little dance move.
I did complain about the dance. That's how I know it happened, because he went all the way up to midfield. And I'm just like, nah, bro.
That was a 7-yard catch call.
And it's RZKB third down.
Yeah,
he
was
showed
doing...
third and longs, man. He shows up.
To quote the great Chuck, you're doing too much. Do less.
Do less. Gotta do less. For straight beast this week, I gotta go with Brandon Ayuk. Not only has Brandon Ayuk looked like an absolute monster the 2 of the last 3 weeks. I mean, they hit on Brandon Ayuk. I mean, can we officially say it now?
Can we? Yeah, we can definitely say the trade up was the right move.
100% the right move.
Yeah.
This guy has been an absolute. It's a steal where we got him from. Based on Henry Ruggs. We definitely should have drafted Henry Ruggs.
I like Henry Ruggs.
I love Henry Ruggs too, but he isn't doing anything in that Raiders offense at all whatsoever. I don't know if that's Gruden or if it's routes. If he can't run anything else other than a deep route and he can't get him open, it might be a little bit of both. But Brandon Ayuk looks like an absolute monster and looks like a perfect scheme fit in this offense. Can do everything that Kyle needs him to do. He can get open deep as well. We've seen it. God, man, the guy's just incredible and dropped like 20 points for me in fantasy too, so you gotta love it.
By the way, another guy I think worth mentioning that made a few plays, although he did have a big error. Richie James got in and made another nice few catches.
Richie James did look like a solid threat in the passing game. I thought that when him, Kendrick Bourne, and Brandon Ayuk were out there, that as far as receivers go, this was one of the most formidable games, minus when we were having Deebo Samuel. But I think that now we're starting to see kind of a group that can actually be successful on the field.
Yeah, and who knew? All it was going to take was for some people to get healthy.
Yeah, who knew that?
SAWFT This week's Soft Player of the Week is the group of officials calling that awful roughing the passer penalty on Contavious Street. He comes through, he gets a good shoulder with his arms wrapped around Drew Brees, goes to the ground. They clearly both fall on their sides, and for some reason that's roughing the passer. It did not break any of today's soft rules anyways. He did not hit him helmet to helmet. He did not hit him high. He did not fall with his weight on him. It broke none of the rules, and that was a game-turning play too.
But it did break like 3 ribs and puncture a lung.
5 ribs.
2 were already broken.
That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
2,
Whoa.
so 3. So it was 3.
Well,
my
maybe
gosh.
Drew Brees should not weigh 190 pounds
I don't disagree.
and get hit by 300-pound guys.
Yeah.
Contavious Street made a fantastic play. Here's a guy that's never really gotten a whole lot of playing time. He finally is. He makes a play, and you call a penalty on him. That's irritating because this guy's out here playing for a job next year. And he makes a great play, and you take it away from him. And it hurts the team as a whole, but especially... And now they're probably going to fine him because the penalty was called. Watch. And the guy's probably only making $600,000 this year.
So
They're
he's
probably going to fine him $50,000.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice chunky
Ridiculous.
paycheck.
I don't think they're going to fine him because even Dean Blandino said this wasn't a penalty. I think this is a pain in the side of the NFL officials. It's another bad call. These guys, they consistently make bad calls in protecting quarterbacks. Let's be honest, if Drew Brees wouldn't have looked so hurt, they wouldn't have called this, but because he looked hurt. And I think there's a definite correlation between these type of penalties that aren't to the head with the elite quarterbacks. Mullins was getting destroyed, and unless it went to his head, there was no call. This has been famous with Cam Newton as well. I think it's something...
They almost didn't call the one on Mullins that they did call. The only reason they made the call is because Trent Williams turned around and looked like he looked like he was getting ready to eat him, and he was like, "Oh God."
Did you see the play where Mullins gets hit and he just goes flying over everybody? He looked like he looked like a little kid that was getting cracked by a big old guy.
I think one of the most irritating parts of that penalty is that they don't throw it right away. They throw it when Drew Brees looks at him with this puppy dog look, like that big guy just.
Oh no, he had no puppy dog look. He had the look of I am hurt in a serious way.
Yeah,
that dude got up and he looked like the wind was knocked out of him.
Well, just look at him when he comes out of halftime. His face looks bloodshot red everywhere. He looks physically ill. And Megan, I remember we're sitting in the airport, and I'm watching this because I have to watch it at the airport because we're waiting for a flight back because, Batman couldn't help me out at all. But we're watching, and I'm like, what is it a shoulder? Like throwing shoulder? I couldn't figure it out. They didn't really say anything for most of the game. I didn't hear anything about ribs where I was listening. And then I read the report the next day. Oh, it's his ribs. He broke like 8 things. And I was like, oh my Lord. And a punctured lung. I was like, oh my Lord.
My direct quote when they showed him after halftime and said he wasn't going in, by the look on his face, was either that guy's got broken ribs or he's got to take a dump and the toilet wasn't working. So it turned out it was the first thing.
Hey, both are real problems.
It's accurate.
Especially with the toilet paper shortage.
It's true. It's here. It's here for us already. Where we're at in the valley. It's already coming again.
Yeah.
What a big surprise.
Luckily, I have some Seahawks merchandise I found on the ground I can use for fun.
That good old Seahawks merchandise. Gotta love it, man.
I'd be afraid of getting a rash.
Or maybe there's gum stuck in it or something.
Yeah, there's a good chance there's gum stuck in it. We all know how Pete Carroll doesn't look when he tosses that gum. He just gets rid of it.
Yeah.
Real quick, real fast. But now, guys, got our soft player out of the way. Took care of those offensive key matchups. What did you two have for defensive key matchups this week?
My defensive key matchup was slowing up Alvin Kamara. Really kind of slowing him up in the running game. And I thought that overall they did a pretty good job. He didn't really get going. They did a good job until I think late in the fourth quarter when Alvin really wasn't even in. But they did a good job of stopping it. Fred Warner was flying all around. Kamara did have, the catch where the fumble weirdly gets his eyes off of Kamara and he catches the ball in the backfield. But overall, I thought, once again, All-Pro Fred and that defense did a really good job of slowing Alvin Kamara, and especially in the run game. And I thought that was going to be a key to win. And I think that if we'd had a better offensive performance, that would have been the key to win.
Yeah, the defense definitely played well enough for them to win the game.
Yeah.
My defensive key matchup was Marcel Harris, or getting help from Marcel Harris on Jared Cook after he torched him last year. You could see very early in the game they tried to go to that, and he was being covered by Tarvarius Moore. Tarvarius Moore played, just as Ant suggested, Tarvarius Moore played a lot more out there than Marcel Harris in those coverage situations, and he had a good game out there. Fred Warner covered him a little bit. Fred Warner did a good job. Cook didn't even have a catch.
That Jimmy Ward had that nice play on him on the sideline as well.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of distributing kind of the coverage there. The other key thing to watch in the future is Marcel Harris, them playing that dime look, and Marcel Harris playing almost a linebacker spot.
They brought
Al-Shaair off the field and putting him there. And I heard Shanahan say, keeping Marcel in positions where he is very successful. So maybe we're going to see more of that hybrid style
almost
look.
A nickel linebacker.
They said they have to keep Tarvarius Moore on the field. I think you guys are finally getting a glimpse of what we've all kind of thought. Next year, Tarvarius Moore and Jimmy Ward are going to play back there
Tarvarius
together.
Moore can ball.
And that's why they gave Jimmy Ward that contract.
Big time, and it may also explain why they were willing to part ways with Quan Alexander so early, because Dre Greenlaw hasn't looked great. He didn't look great this last week either. This game against the Saints, he got exposed a little bit again. But some of that could just be the youthfulness of the game for him, and him still adapting, and Alvin Kamara being
Alvin Kamara.
And Sean Payton being Sean Payton.
Very true. And putting them in situations where there are some weaknesses still in Greenlaw's game, and putting him in the positions where he's going to have to overcome those weaknesses, and he's not there yet. He's not ready for it yet. But Tarvarius Moore playing as well in the box as he has played this year, it maybe made you think, Shanahan especially, long-term wise, Greenlaw's going to get this figured out at some point. We don't need to run with 3 deep linebackers. You can have Shaair on the field for some snaps and have Tarvarius Moore playing in the box.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you're not seeing a big difference between Marcel Harris and Al-Shaair as far as the impact they're making in the box, as far as run stoppers and stuff. As far as I think Marcel Harris is actually a better run stopper than Al-Shaair. So now when you have a better defender in the past game. Now, when you get to those certain situations, you could, do different things. But when they're in that dime set, you can take Dre off the field and play Marcellus, and he can still play in that box. I think that's going to be important in the future.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Alshire, but I think your team's better off if Alshire's your fourth best linebacker.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think he's a really good special teams, high effort, high energy guy you want on your team, but you don't want him as a full-time starter, at least at this point in his career.
I like the creativity, too, that they're finally doing something kind of out of the box. We hadn't anticipated, but they're finally getting to it.
And how about their D-line finally drumming up some pressure?
Yeah.
Hyder had a nice game. I mean...
Yeah.
Was it 2 sacks for him?
Did he have 2 or 1?
I think he had,
It was either 1.5
I think him and...
It was either 1.5 or 2.
I think him and our... Block is hot guy each had 1.5.
Whoa now. Don't get ahead of
Jumping
yourself
the gun
now.
right here. Whoa, Nelly.
Speaking of block is hot.
It's that time. As Horst so eloquently alluded to,
That's true.
the block is hot player for us, I think, for at least for what I was thinking, I know Horst, I think, was thinking the same thing, is Javon Kinlaw. Got his first sack, but not just the first sack, a couple. Also, Horst, that screen pass where he kind of slides out, gets right there, stops it early on in the game. That could have been a big play. Dre Greenlaw was getting blown up when that happened. So, yeah, definitely, I think Javon Kinlaw is the block is hot player of the week.
Yeah, Kinlaw had a really nice game. Unlike some other people, I don't think this is his first good game, but it's the first game he's put up stats as far as sacks and stuff.
Right.
He provided a lot of penetration. They chose to double team Armstead, not him, and they paid for it. Inside, he did a good job of penetrating the whole game. He gave them trouble. He provided pressure probably another 2 or 3 times. Made that nice play on the screen. He got caught smelling his shoe on live TV on the sideline, so that was cool. And then
I forgot about
the
that.
other shout out I do want to give is to their defensive backfield as a whole. They held Mike Thomas to 2 catches.
Can't guard Mike.
How many catches did Sanders have? 2, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
The Saints have an explosive passing game, and they really kept it under wraps most of the game. Their most successful passes were actually screens to Kamara.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really nice job out there in the secondary, especially on old can't guard Mike.
Yep.
He's probably going to punch someone at practice now.
It's a good chance he's going to punch somebody at practice. Watch out, rest of the Saints.
Don't go after Jameis, you might get messed up.
That's true. That's very accurate.
Crab leg to the neck.
Crab leg to the neck. My Lord, you guys are on fire. You're hot. But yeah, Kinlaw. It has to be Kinlaw. It can't be anybody else. It's like Horst said, it's the first time that statistically he's put up numbers that people can actually digest, look at, and go, okay, this was good production. He did a lot of good things here. We've all kind of been on the same page about this for most of the season, that even though the statistically it hasn't been there in terms of the numbers, his impact on the run game has been huge. He's been getting better every week. The pass rush had been slowly developing, and this week he kind of put it all together into one great 4-quarter performance. The defense played solid for 4 quarters. If you, Horst said earlier, if the special teams doesn't drop the ball on 2 straight punt returns, this is a completely different game. If Nick Mullins doesn't decide to throw the ball at every player in a Saints uniform, who knows what happens for some of our offensive drives. Right now, literally, this team is just some health on offense and some special teams miscues away from having 7 wins on the season and being 7-3.
Kerry Hyder again. Once again, I was just pointing out he has 5.5, I think, right now. Maybe, I don't know if that was.
I think that put him at 6.
So he had 6 sacks.
4.5.
So through 10 games, 6 sacks from a guy that, basically all we knew is that Chris Kasarik really liked him. He had only the 1 season of production, in Detroit with Chris Kasarik. Not so much since then, but I think it shows that this guy definitely fits, and Chris Kasarik knows he fits in his system. So that's good news.
And another guy is Willis.
Yep.
He's, that guy's, I'm still liking him. He's high energy, plays hard. Not always with the greatest of technique, but he comes in and you see high energy out of him, which I enjoy. I think he, like we talked about last week, he's a better prospect than we thought. when they grabbed him.
I agree. He kind of looks more in the form of the college prospect and not so much what we've seen from him in the NFL.
Almost like the Jets and Bengals don't develop players very well.
Or they don't know what to do with them.
I'm going to go with probably that.
Yeah.
Probably that, and I think the what Jordan Willis has shown is also credit to Kasarik and what they've been able to do with him so far in Saleh. And I think people who are like, well, we're going to see what this Kasarik guy can do and if he can actually develop. I think you can pretty much just close the lid on this. I think this guy has a pretty good grasp of the D-line position. It's very obvious based on the breakdown we did of him that he is entirely focused and committed to that D-line group. He has no ulterior motives. He doesn't want anything more than what he's currently doing. And he's the perfect fit for this team, and I hope he's around for a long time.
Agreed.
Yeah, by the way, for those of you like Grant Cohn who think that Jim Tomasula is a better defensive line coach, he's the defensive line coach for a record-breaking bad Cowboys defense.
Well, you talk about Alden Smith has completely turned it around now, man. Like, he's done wonders with that
he
one
plays
guy.
outside linebacker.
He's done wonders with that one.
Kasarik's getting his production. The one guy I'm going to call out that I'm severely disappointed in is Deion Jordan.
What?
You don't even notice he's there.
Maybe that's by design.
Oh,
Maybe that's part of his
His superpower is invisibleness.
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 Not invisibility.
No, invisibleness.
Invisibleness. He was hanging out with Kendrick Bourne too much. That's why Bourne disappeared that one week. It all adds up.
You know what? Since Bourne has disappeared, though, he's back, and I'm firmly on the train.
Oh yeah, 3 catches.
RZKB.
3 or 4 catches. 4 catches for 24 yards.
26
3
yards.
first downs. That's whatever.
If it's 3rd and 17, throw him the rock.
He's gonna catch it.
Probably.
And in the red zone.
Yeah, just 1st and 10 over the middle. No chance.
No.
If you enjoyed our breakdown of this game, scroll down, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go down there and comment. Let us know what you think the reason that they lost the game is, what they can do to improve. Maybe we missed out on someone who played well or didn't play well. Let us know. We'll comment back. Also, I want to give a very special birthday shout out to my mother, who is on November 17th turning older than me.
29 and holding.
Yeah, 29 and holding. So there we go with that. You know what? You can comment. Wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also, you can tune in and watch Friday's episode. That could be fun. We are going to be doing something completely different. It would normally be our preview show, but we are not previewing a game this week.
What? We're not?
There's no game. It's a bye week.
Oh, my word.
So for 1 week at least, we don't have to worry about the 49ers winning or losing. But we're gonna get into some good stuff. We're gonna have some fun topics. You're gonna want to be here. You're not gonna want to miss what we talk about. Could get very intense.
By the way,
we're still gonna lock it up too.
By the way, how many?
We're not gonna.
Let's.
We are gonna lock it up.
Did Russ throw 2 or 3 picks this week?
A lot. You know what? It's the only thing that's going slightly well for us. I think that at this point this year, in terms of our predictions before the season, we talked about a lot of different things. And if you haven't, you need to go back and watch and listen to some of our other podcasts and our previous shows in which we discuss the decline of the Russell Wilson magic. It's happening before our very eyes, guys. It is happening.
I don't know about all that, but I still like future better.
Well, we will find out Thursday, I'll tell you that much, when they play the Arizona Cardinals. So, that should be interesting. Coming out of this game, I think there's a lot more questions than there are answers. The 49ers definitely needed this bye week to come when it came. They're going to need to get guys healthy, which there is a possibility that guys will be healthy. Horace, how big would it be for the 49ers to get back Raheem Mostert?
I think it'd be huge. Raheem Mostert is a special talent. He's so explosive. He's got the fastest recorded time in the league so far.
He's so fast, it makes fast people look not fast.
Yeah, and it'd be really nice to get like him and Tevin Coleman back.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. But
of course, once Tevin Coleman runs the ball one time, cut Tevin Coleman today!
Or
Jeff get the ball and go 3 yards, and that's about it.
Or Jeff Wilson. I'm fine with Jeff Wilson, too.
I would be great with Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
or Tevin Coleman. Honestly, I would just like to have all three back.
Yeah.
Because that's one less thing to worry about if all three are back, playing, and healthy. Even if one goes down, you still got two more there. Especially now with JaMychal Hasty out for the rest of the year. We're sitting on...
Boy, was that short and sweet.
That was really short and sweet. This team, every time I think we can't get any more injuries, like 4 or 5 more pile on, I feel like Lloyd Christmas. Every time I think you can't get any dumber, you go and do something like this. Except we're not totally redeeming ourselves. We're burying ourselves in a deeper hole every week, and there's like almost nothing you can do.
Yeah.
The biggest return will probably be Deebo Samuel.
Agreed.
Because if Deebo's back, the offense is just so much different. The way Kyle presents the offense is different. You see a little bit with Brandon Ayuk, but not to the level that you see with Deebo Samuel. And I've heard the claims that people will say, the 49ers, if the offense is going to change this much, why have Deebo Samuel, only one Deebo Samuel? The answer to that is they don't have one Deebo Samuel. They have two. His name's Jalen Hurd, but he's injured again. So people that are saying they should have prepared for this are not understanding the 49ers have definitely prepared for this in the draft. It's just that injuries have cost them. So Deebo Samuel coming back is going to change this. If they get Deebo and Mostert back, the 49ers offense has the capabilities to win. But can they win with Nick Mullins at quarterback?
Maybe an Uncle Sherm return.
I'm hoping we get Uncle Sherm back.
I would love to have Uncle Sherm back.
I think him and Verrett would be lockdown corners.
He could activate the power of the dreadlocks.
And really change the nickel also, because now Emmanuel Mosley could play the nickel corner if needed, especially with K'Wan Williams more than likely out till the end of the season.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to be out to the end of the season. There are some guys who at this point you're looking at, and they definitely need to probably just be held out for the short term. The only reason you should even consider bringing any of them back is if we get healthy and go on a run and have a chance at that last playoff spot and a chance to at least defend our NFC divisional crown and our NFC championship crown, and try and find a way to make a late push and get hot at the right time. If that doesn't happen and we're sitting at 4-7, 4-8, some of these guys need to get shut down for the rest of the year, and you protect yourself for next season.
By the way, Kittle has declared he would like to play after the bye.
What a shock! What an absolute surprise!
Now, during these next couple weeks, one thing that's going to be interesting is if they open the practice windows for Ronald Blair and for Weston Richburg. Of course, if they do, these two will definitely come back this year. If they don't, this probably signals the end for Weston Richburg in San Francisco.
And maybe for Blair as well.
Are we... Yeah, I think so. Are we capable, as an offensive line, the 49ers, of getting by without Weston Richburg at center? Because we've seen the rookie have some mistakes when they brought in him at guard. And I'm not high on Tom Compton. Do we need Brunskill back at guard? Can Weston Richburg or even Ben Garland? I don't know what's up with Ben Garland. Do we need somebody to come back at center?
I mean, I will tell you this. They're better with Garland at center than they are with Brunskill at center and Compton or McKivitz at guard. They're better than that with Richburg at center over Garland. They definitely get better each time you put one of those two guys in. Brunskill's actually playing center well.
Yeah.
It's just that right guard spot really suffers when he comes out. If those guys are done, aren't going to be on the 49ers anymore past this year, they definitely need to pick up a solid interior lineman.
Agreed.
You can move Brunskill to center with a whole offseason of work. I think he'd make a really good center. But then they need to pick up a big-time right guard.
You don't think they would just go with Colton McKivitz? I mean, they drafted him high. I mean, the other option
Fifth round?
Huh?
5th round high?
Well, I mean, they used a pick that they traded for to get him. I mean, they said they were going to take him in the 3rd round, that they were willing to take him in the 3rd round. They just didn't have a pick to do it. They were surprised he's there. It begs the question, is that the guy, or is it finally time to draft another tackle and move Mike McGlinchey to right guard?
I think McGlinchey would make a fantastic guard. His pass blocking skill, I don't hate on him the way some people do. He's clearly a run blocking first tackle.
Yeah.
He's going to have his mistakes in the passing game. I think that would make for a fantastic guard.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to do that and go pick a tackle in the first, second round, or find a good tackle in the free agent market, I'd be fine with that too. But it's come pretty clear that this team isn't the same without Garland or Richburg out there.
Most definitely.
And I'm not necessarily blaming Brunskill. I'm blaming the other guys. McKivitz, I just haven't seen enough of. McKivitz might be a fantastic player in the future. I just can't sit here and tell you he would be an upgrade because I haven't seen enough of him.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool to see. Hopefully they open the window for these guys because I want these guys to come back. They would make big. I mean, Shanahan kind of alluded to a couple of guys coming back after the break. I'm kind of hoping that it's a full go. I'm hoping it's, Avengers.
Shoot the load.
Yeah.
Assemble.
That's what I'm hoping. And then we got 6 games to see, what the heck could happen. Yeah,
and what this team could be.
10-6, maybe. Now, is there any hope for Jimmy G?
The way he was describing the ankle sprain, the fact that there was discussions of even having surgery, does not bode well at all. I don't think there's any way he's coming back from this unless there is significant rehab improvements and he is 100% certain when he plants on that leg to throw.
Because they said he was going to be out, 4 to 6 weeks? And he's been out 2 already. He's about to get 2 more. Could he come back at that's that 4 to 6 week window?
I would likely put it at 6. 6 at the most. I wouldn't be shocked if it takes 7.
I think we will see Jimmy again this year.
If they're out of the playoff hunt, though, let's say it takes 7 weeks, 8 weeks for him to get back. Let's say it's 6. He's just not there yet, not 100%. So they're extra cautious, and we're out of the playoff hunt. By that time, by week 7, week 8, does he come back?
Yes.
Yep.
I think so. I think you see. It all depends. If they've decided that they're moving on from Jimmy G, then there's no reason to play him because you want him healthy in case you want to trade him for the draft. But if you haven't decided and you're wanting to take a look, maybe see, hey, maybe it was just all bad stuff. Maybe you do. Maybe you say, yeah, go out there. I think they're hoping they're going to be in the playoff hunt. It's all going to come. If they beat the Rams, then there's absolutely no reason. I mean, I know it's only a 4% chance of making the playoffs right now, but still a chance.
I would set it at 65-35 that we do see Jimmy again this year. And the thing about Kyle, even if they're out of the playoffs, he is not the type to tank.
No, he's not.
He's going to try and win every damn game.
Yeah.
So Ant, you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
I don't understand the reference.
It's okay. No worries.
You wouldn't.
Your guys' references are getting dumb and dumber.
And with that, that was actually really good. I actually enjoyed that a lot.
Ha, 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 ha.
I don't think he found it very funny.
Tee-hee.
Tee-hee.
Chuckle.
Make sure you're here on Friday's episode. Check out what we got to say. It's going to be a big one. We're going to be talking all throughout the bye week about things the 49ers can do to save the season, where the season is at, who has been performing well, and who needs to perform well for the 49ers to finish this season off the way we want them to finish it off with 6 big wins.
One last push. Forever faithful.
Forever faithful.
Forever faithful. I'm excited. I'm excited for what lies ahead and what lies in store. Bye week to recover. I'm glad that it happened right now. It's perfect timing because I need a little bit of a recovery too.
Yeah, I think we all do. And guys, you know what time it is? Welcome back, Alex, but let's chalk another one up.
Oh, that feels so good. All right, let's save it. Save the
Defund the refs.
That needs to be a chant. Defund the refs. Defund the refs. Everybody. All right, here we go. Horse 3, 2.
I forgot.
Wally stands up.
Here we go.
This man did not have his
hands
hands up.
3, 2. right.
Did
Do we want to?
In all seriousness, did Dante Pettis play?
Yeah.
Did he do anything?
Yeah, he had a fantastic block that caused Daniel Jones to score a touchdown. No lie. I saw it.
Nice. Good for
I
him.
meant catching though.
What are we?
I don't know if he caught anything. Maybe a cold. It's cold over there in New York.
Are you ready? You still
Is Dante Pettis